It truly becomes mental health versus physical health. And I don't know how to make that call. I truly don't know.
Over a third of young Americans do not believe that the United States is the greatest country in the world.
Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
You guys are beautiful. All rise to the Pledge of Allegiance.
But what if we don't feel like pledging?
What about?
Yvette Smith. Aaron Carey. Melissa Williams. Tanisha Anderson. Natasha McAdam. Walter Ellison. Shirley Fry. Eric Gordon. Trayvon Martin. Freddie Gray. Michael Brown. Rakia Bloyd. Sandra Bland. Colin Kaepernick.
It's Jamal Clark and never gonna Trayvon Martin, Tyree Crawford, Kristen Taylor, Brian Day, Lorenzo Hayes, but he the victim, he the victim, he the victim.
Take a knee, take a knee, take a knee, take a knee.
Take a knee!
By the way, this idea of cultural hegemony explains something. Have you ever wondered why women who make up more than 50% of the population are considered a minority? You ever wondered why? Because women are not seen as part of the cultural hegemony. The cultural hegemony is patriarchal. The cultural hegemony, for example, in our society is white, male, heterosexual, cisgendered, able-bodied, native-born Americans. And everybody who's not that is a minority. And everybody who's not that is a victim of the cultural hegemony established by those individuals. Which means that everybody who's not that is at war with that. And everybody who is that is privileged. And the more of those boxes you tick off, the more privileged you are. Shame.
Some are trying to wipe away the lessons of history, lessons that we should be teaching to our children and to our grandchildren. This approach focuses exclusively on our forefathers' flaws, but it fails to capitalize on the opportunity to learn from their virtues. Make no mistake, this is being done deliberately to discredit America's founding principles by discrediting the individuals who formed them, so that America can be remade into a different political image.
The woman free from the man, both free from capital. Those words were uttered by the Italian communist Camilla Ravera in 1921. And I think that sums up very well the Marxist position on the women's question, which is, as long as we have capitalism, no oppression can be abolished within it.
One, the reason why they looted and rioted that Target was because that Target refused to give milk to protesters who were being tear gassed by the police.
You stupid dinosaur! Get the out of here!
Abortion is the #1 cause of death in the Black community. And since 1973, over 16 million Black babies have been aborted. And I was scheduled to be one of those children.
And a March for Peace honored David Dorn today. The former police captain was killed by suspected looters at a local pawn shop.
We are shooting each other up on our streets in this city, and you shot and killed a baby. And it wasn't one shooter, there were at least 2 shooters. An 8-year-old baby. We are doing each other more harm than any police officer on this force.
The violent mayhem we have seen in the streets and cities that are run by liberal Democrats in every case is the predictable result of years of extreme indoctrination and bias in education, journalism, and other cultural institutions. Against every law of society and nature, our children are taught in school to hate their own country and to believe that the men and women who built it were not heroes, but that were villains. The radical view of American history is a web of lies. All perspective is removed. Every virtue is obscured. Every motive is twisted. Every fact is distorted. And every flaw is magnified until the history is purged and the record is disfigured beyond all recognition.
Parents, moms and dads, keep your children safe, physically, intellectually, morally, and spiritually. Given the events of our day, for many, this will mean teaching your children at home. Psalm 78 gives this answer for parents, reminding us that there has always been 2 visions of reality and history. One taught by unbelieving, rebellious men, the other taught by loving, faithful fathers. Psalm 78 is a call for faithful fathers of all ethnic backgrounds to teach their children the truths about God, ethics, and history. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, telling to the generation to come the praises of the Lord and His strength and His wonderful works that He has done. For He established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which He commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, the children who would be born, that they may arise and declare them to their children, that they may set their hope in God, and not forget the works of God, but keep His commandments, and may not be like their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that did not set its heart aright, and whose spirit was not faithful to God.